This is a video for putter Jake and Tina. We took Bruno down to Tryon. I competed him in the Open Intermediate, which obviously is one level lower than what he's capable of, but it was a tough enough level for me to ride around with me not knowing him too much. We drove him down there on Friday. I gave him a little ride on Friday afternoon, and then this is his dressage test first thing Saturday morning, and he went like a ripper. Sort of the last couple of weeks I've sort of more just been tinkering around on him at home a bit and not practicing too many of these higher level moves. And then just a couple of days before the competition, Silver gave me a lesson on him and worked on, half past what you're seeing now and counter and a few other things. And he's so well trained. He's such a good boy. Like, he wouldn't have done some of these movements for a couple of months. And obviously Annie's done a top job schooling him and teaching him everything. I really just sort of sat on him and pressed all the buttons. And he did a great dressage test. He scored a 28, which actually had him in first place after the dressage, which was fantastic. The cross country was Sunday today, and I didn't go flat out on him. I was still getting the hang of him, and he's obviously a big jumper in the cross country, and he feels fit, but I still trying to get a bit of a partnership going with him. So I went around with I think 10 time penalties, which was sort of about 3/4 pace, and I just sort of gave myself plenty of time setting him up for the jumps. I thought he jumped great. He was a little bit looky at one of the ditches, but I remember Annie saying that he was a bit spooky at the sort of the ditch jump. So, but he was really, really good. It was a pretty tough course, and again, I hadn't really cross-country schooled many intermediate type fences. I've had him obviously to that little training horse trial a couple of weeks ago at Seneca, and then gave him a little cross-country jump at home and popped him over a corner and an arrow into the water, and yeah, it was a real step up compared to what we've been doing. The great news is that he did it really, really comfortably. I just sat up on top, sort of pointed him where to go, and he jumped around the course really, really well. So this is, just going back, this is obviously the dressage test on Saturday morning, and then Saturday evening was the show jumping, and we've got that on video in a second. And he jumped unbelievable. There's a bit of a crowd there under the lights there on Saturday, and the announcer David O'Connor gave him a great introduction, and he got a big applause at the end of his jumping round. They acknowledged Annie, and there was lots of pats and hugs. And Bruno is obviously a phenomenal jumper. He did it great. I think this went so well. My next stop would most likely be the Morven Park 4-star short. So we'll go up back to the sort of top level. And he's had him at the 4-star level for a couple of years, so he's got a fair bit of mileage and experience at this level, and I think Morven Park will be a good track. It also gives us another sort of 4 or 5 weeks of training and practice, getting that sort of partnership going. He feels very, very confident in all 3 phases. I feel like he really, really enjoys his jumping. The dressage is, I find him a little bit quirky sometimes. Like we haven't had to do flying changes at the competition, but at training I've been doing them, and he's a little bit sort of zippy when you put your leg on. Silver school him a couple of times. She was also helping Annie with him in especially earlier this year, leading up to Jersey and Rebecca Farm. So she sort of knows Bruno a bit already. And Bruno had a lot of fans there. There's at the competition here at Tryon, a lot of people who I'd never really met before come up and greeted Bruno. A couple of the girls that worked at the farm in Aiken, and people that were sort of friends with Annie that I didn't know came up and introduced themselves. So it was Bruno was quite the celebrity in Tryon. So before Malvern Park, I think I'm going to take him to a jumping show up in New Jersey called Princeton. This would sort of be a midweek type training day. I'd say I'd do that in 2 weeks' time, and I'd probably jump him in the metre 20 and the metre 30. So this is obviously Bruno, Saturday evening, good crowd there, and I got to say, I've jumped a lot of horses. I've never felt a horse jump like this. He really pounces off the ground, and he's just got so much power. He's a real showman, Bruno. He jumps good in the warm-up, but not this good. Like, he felt like he comes in the ring and goes a bit higher. So obviously we won the dressage, and then this course was he jumped clear, which made him leading going into the cross country, and then I didn't want to be greedy and race Bruno around, so we ended up in third place, which obviously is still a great result, considering that we don't know each other that well. And Bruno just feels so confident and well trained in the jumping. I didn't have to. Actually, the last time I show jumped him was 2 weeks ago at the training level at Seneca Valley, so I hadn't done any show jumping training. I'd just done some cross country schooling, and he comes out and just jumps unbelievable. And we got just 2 quick snippets of him cross country this morning. The footing was great. Like I said before, I didn't go flat out. I just sort of gave him plenty of time to read the complicated fences and really tried to just get a feel for him. But he was really, really impressive. He felt fantastic. Anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you all again for sending Bruno my way. Obviously, horses like this are pretty rare, and I really appreciate you placing him with me, and it's very, very exciting that Bruno can keep going. So anyway, I'll check in with you in a couple of weeks after we do the jumping in Malvern Park.